Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? It's been a minute, but I'm here to start a new series. If you know what my channel is known for, or basically what I started up on, you should have seen this coming, especially with My Hero Academia Season 4 coming in literally less than 2 weeks. I'm gonna start talking about My Hero Academia Vigilantes. And when I first heard about this manga, I was like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it. There's not too many times where I really enjoyed an anime or a manga and then they got a spin-off and I really enjoyed it. Like I think one of the animes that I really enjoyed was Soul Eater. It has a spin-off and I didn't enjoy it whatsoever. And there was a couple shows like Attack on Titan, they also got a spin-off, didn't enjoy it. Naruto got a spin-off, did not enjoy it whatsoever. But this manga is amazing. It's fantastic. And I'm gonna cover all of them that we have right now. There's a sixth one that's coming out soon, but right now there's only five. So over the course of this week, I'm gonna have a video for every single one of them. And also what I'm doing right now, because season 4 is coming out soon of My Hero Academia, I'm playing One's Justice on my Twitch, so if you want to go check out my Twitch to see me play it, I'd appreciate that. I still have mixed feelings about the game right now, but going into it, I have mixed feelings. I'm going to save that for another video where I'm going to review the game itself, because we actually just got an announcement that there's going to be a second one. So, I hope the second one's going to be better than the first one, but that I digress. That's all I'm going to say on that for now. We're here to talk about Vigilantes. Vigilantes is really, really freaking good. And if you have any interest whatsoever in the My Hero Academia, universe, you should definitely pick this up and read it. Right now, it's focusing on three characters. The main protagonist, the main male protagonist, I guess you would say, is Koichi. Koichi has a quirk, unlike Deku. He didn't start off with a quirk. He got his quirk obviously from All Might. He has a quirk where basically he can slide and he can glide on any surface as long as 3 points are touching. So, two arms, one leg, two legs, one arm, whatever. As long as he has got 3 points of contact on the surface, he can slide and glide. And at the beginning of the manga, he makes it seem like he can only go a certain amount of speed. He can go way faster than the average car can go, but the thing is, he has trouble controlling the speed because you have no way of braking. Imagine revving up your car to 100 miles per hour, right? But then having no brakes. Like, it's dangerous. Like, he can go super freaking fast, Koichi that is, but he needs a way to stop. Later in the series, he figures out a way to deal with this thanks to Ingenium, but that's in later volumes. Right now, we're just talking about the first one. I like Koichi as a character a lot because I feel like the whole entire point of My Hero Academia, not just Vigilantes, but the theme of the show itself in the manga is what makes a hero, right? Even though his quirk is not super strong and he doesn't have his license, obviously the show is called Vigilantes for a reason. Koichi and everyone else in his gang, his crew, did not have a license to be a hero. They're all, excuse me, they're all vigilantes. They're doing this illegally. And one of the things that I really like at the beginning of every single manga is they have a definition for a certain word, and that word is basically the theme for that volume. Right in the beginning, we can see here, and I'm going to be opening the book a lot, is there's a definition for vigilantes. Let me read that real quick. A member of a volunteer committee organized to suppress and punish crime summarily, as when the processes of law are viewed as inadequate, broadly, a self-appointed doer of justice. So basically, when the law isn't enough and the pros aren't around, vigilantes come to pick up the slack. So at first, actually, Koichi, well, we call him the Crawler. Well, that's what he wants to call himself, but no one ever gets his name right. He didn't really even want to be a vigilante. He wants to be a hero, and he's going to school. He just doesn't have his license. But he runs into Pop Step, which is another vigilante. She's basically an idol, and her quirk is she can jump really high. She's basically a human grasshopper. She could jump really high and she could land. As long as she lands on the ground or any sort of surface, like let's say she can hop from wall to wall, kind of like Mario. She could just bounce all over the place. So she's an idol. That's what she does. She kind of dresses like an idol. Very very pretty. very, I guess, what would you say, dramatic. She wears makeup. She's got the whole costume. Her costume's super skimpy. Let me see if I can get. Oh yeah, she's on the back of Volume 1. Well, there you go. Let me put it up there. There's Pop Step right there. And well, let me get closer. You can actually see Knuckle Duster right there too. The thing about Koichi's, I guess, superhero suit is really, it's just an All Might hoodie. It's funny because Deku is a real big fan of All Might, but so is Koichi. Deku's got all this memorabilia and like freaking like curtains, blankets, pillows, action figures. Koichi's basically just got every single All Might hoodie in existence, every single limited edition, everything, and that's his costume. When he goes out and he does his thing as a crawler, that's what he does. Knuckle Duster is the third person that is kind of sort of in this main group with Koichi and with Kazuho, Popstep. Knuckle Duster, we don't know his name yet. Even in the manga, it didn't really tell us his actual name. But he gets a big focus, not in the first volume, but basically he's just an old guy who doesn't have a quirk, who's strong as shit, and he beats the living crap out of anyone who gets in his way. At first, he kind of seems excessive, but let me back up a little bit. How Pop Step kind of interrupts Koichi's life is she sees him at one of her shows because she's trying to be an idol, right? She's using her quirk illegally, which makes her a vigilante. She's not necessarily going out there doing hero work. She's just using her quirk illegally. And so is Koichi. Whenever he uses his quirk, he tries not to do it as Koichi. He tries to do it as the Crawler, which is, what leads to him, both of them actually, meeting up with Knuckle Duster. Because Knuckle Duster, right now, what he's trying to do, he's a true vigilante. He's sort of like Batman. Doesn't have a quirk, but he's strong. He knows how to fight, and he knows how to handle himself when he goes up against other people who have quirks, who are villains. Some people are genuine villains. Some people are just people who have quirks who misuse them. Like gangbangers, thugs, misfits, and stuff like that. Knuckle Duster is looking for someone who's distributing this quirk boosting drug called Trigger. And basically what Trigger does is when you inject it into your body, it boosts your quirk. So whatever quirk you have, it could either make your body change physically, or it could just make you way better at using your quirk. But the drawback, at least in the first volume, is because eventually they changed the formula for this drug to make it better, which is just less side effects, is you freaking get pissed, you get mad, you get angry, you basically lose control of who you are and what you're doing for, in exchange, a boost of power or a boost in your quirk. So if you have a gigantification quirk, you get super massive, you get super huge. If you have a quirk, like one of the dudes in the very beginning of Volume 1, where he has like spikes on his body, he's kind of like Wolverine. He's able to produce spikes like all over the place. He gets like a freaking hedgehog, like a porcupine, spikes all over the place. Obviously, they're way stronger and way faster as well. The only way that you can tell, so far as Knuckle Duster knows, if you've been using Trigger or not, is if your tongue turns black. For some reason, that's also a side effect of using the drug. Your tongue will turn black. And these three characters, in the very beginning, they're introduced in a very good way because it's like they're completely different. Like, Koichi is just a regular dude going to school trying to get his license to become a hero. Kazuho is just this regular girl also going to school trying to make it as an idol. And Knuckle Duster is this old badass who wants to beat the shit out of people who are selling drugs in his community. He's trying to get his community drug free. And all because they're using their quirks illegally, and in the same city, I believe it's Naruhata. I gotta make sure that that's the city that they live in. But they all meet up, and they all happen to be doing the same thing, using their quirks illegally, which makes them a vigilante. Eventually, Knuckle Duster talks to Koichi and says, "Hey, do you want to help me out? Like, I can be your master. I can teach you how to use your quirk better. You can help me out. I can help you out." Same thing goes for Popstep. For some reason, she's always around. At the very beginning, she's like, "I have no interest in doing vigilante work. I have no interest in, in trying to help you guys out." But she sticks around. Something else that I really like about My Hero Vigilantes is they incorporate some pro heroes that are from the My Hero like main story. Like Eraserhead is in this, Fat Gum is in this. Um, who else is in this? We see All Might a couple times, not actually in the panels, but like through illustrations and stuff like that. Midnight, the rated R hero, she's in this as well. There's a couple of pro heroes who make an appearance every now and then, and they're in this. The first volume is great, and right towards the end of the first volume, we kind of see a glimpse at who the big villain is. The person who's kind of distributing the drug trigger, because obviously in a world where 80% of the people have quirks, some of them are dangerous, some of them not so much. But if someone is distributing illegal drugs that boost your quirk but also makes you freaking run rampant with rage and anger, that's not a good thing. And it's up to the three of them to figure out who it is and to stop them. That's basically the premise for Vigilantes in the very first volume. That's everything that goes over. There's a couple little stuff here and there that happens, like they run into some small time villains who have been using the drug trigger. So obviously Knuckle Duster just wants to punch the crap out of whoever is in his way and getting in his way, so he can find out where the drugs are coming from. But it takes Koichi and Pop Step to kind of just let them know, hey, you can't just go beating up civilians like just because they look like they might be bad people. You got to do things the right way, especially since none of them can really use their quirk legally. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. If there's anything else you guys want to know about the series specifically, or my thoughts on it, let me know. But that about covers the very first volume. There's tons of good stuff. But yeah, it's basically Koichi, which is the Crawler, Knuckle Duster, and Pop Step come together to form a vigilante group to stop Trigger. Yeah, it's really interesting. I got them all here. So there's 5 altogether right now, like I said before. Gonna be covering all of them. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Look forward to the rest of the videos. And then after 5, whenever 6 or 7 or any more come out, I'll cover them too. Alright. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.